Hey guys, Tyler here. In this video, we're going to be talking about Redfin and the new report that just came out about investors and how they're buying up all these properties out there while they're taking everything away from those first-time home buyers, and first-time home buyers that have to get loans can't buy anything because all these investors are coming in with cash. So we're going to go ahead and check out this article. It's really interesting and it has some really good information that you want to keep in mind. And at the end of the video, I'm going to share my closing thoughts on how we can respond with all of these investors putting cash into the market and buying up these properties. Okay, so it starts off here with Redfin saying real estate investors are buying a record share of U.S. homes. Investors bought 18.4% of U.S. homes that were purchased in just the fourth quarter, which is a record high. Real estate investors bought roughly 80,000 U.S. homes worth a total of $50 billion in the fourth quarter. And this is the last note here, is that mid-priced homes are becoming more popular, with investors making up 32% of all the purchases. Now, the low-priced homes right here make up 37% of all the purchases, and that's typically has always been that way. Investors usually want to buy low and sell high, so lower priced homes typically were the winners in those categories. And then the last thing I guess I'll highlight here is that Atlanta, Charlotte, and Jacksonville were the highest market shares of investors purchasing in those areas. Now, here's a graph from the fourth quarter highlighting from the past 20 years. Now, you're going to see a lot of these gyrations, and this is what's really interesting to know, is that these gyrations happen throughout the year. And at least in my market, what I see happen very, very often, and we're seeing it right now, is that cash offers are strongest at the beginning of the first and second quarter and tend to wane out during the third and fourth quarter. And you see this cycle of more cash offers, less cash offers, more cash offers, less cash offers. And it's simply because the investors are looking at the beginning of the year. Now, I usually have FHA buyers, VA buyers who struggle at the first and second quarter of the year. The springtime, the most popular month to buy, they tend to find homes in the fall months, in the winter months, just because there's fewer number of buyers out there looking. But you see this gyration, and it has gone up 18.4% in the fourth quarter of 2021, which is really, really amazing to see the amount of money that's out there that people are buying despite the prices of homes. So the question that you have to ask yourself is, why are these investors buying when prices are going through the roof? Well, they answer that in this. They answer that right here. Just over 3/4, 75.3% of investor home purchasers were paid with all cash in the fourth quarter. That's absolutely incredibly to think about, that there's that much cash out there for people to use. It says investors are chasing rising prices because rental payments are also skyrocketing. So if they get into a home, they know that prices are going to go up and that it's going to be harder for buyers to, or for renters to be able to become homeowners because it's just getting more expensive, meaning that rents are going to go up and there's going to be less rental vacancies because there's going to be more people that are going to have to rent because they can't afford a home. The supply shortage is also an advantage to landlords, as many people who can't find a home to buy are forced to rent instead. I just indicated that. And lastly, plus, investors who flip homes see potential to turn a big profit as home prices soar. So the philosophy of money is this: when money or the cost of things go up, people try to jump in. When it's going down, people jump out. And it's this philosophy of money. If a stock is going up in price, like let's say Shiba Inu went a couple months ago, people just flocked to it and they wanted to try to get on that bandwagon, on the train, and reap the benefits of everybody else joining in. But when the stock crashes, everybody jumps out. Well, the same is happening in the real estate market. With prices soaring and going up and up and up, all these investors are wanting to catch it and catch the property or the appreciation gains that they're going to get, as well as higher rent prices for potential buyers that can't afford a home because they're just outpriced them. Okay, if home price growth slows in the coming years, investor demand may cool down because rental prices growth will slow down too. This is just an interesting fact that you will see as home prices slow. you have more options available to you. And the thought behind this is that when it slows down, you're going to have less investors jumping in. Now, I indicated earlier that mid-priced homes make up nearly 1/3 of the investor purchases. Now, you can see here, red is low-priced, blue is mid-priced, and green is high-priced. And the mid-priced homes have increased simply because there's not enough lower-priced homes available. Or the lower-priced homes have now increased so much in price that they're mid-priced. And so that's really why you're seeing these numbers happen here in the fourth quarter. This is another thing that I really thought was interesting. Single family homes represent 3 in 4 investor purchases. That means almost 75% of the purchases in the fourth quarter were single family homes. This right here is where buyers are feeling the rub. 75%, 75 out of 100 homes that are being bought by investors are single family homes. That's a lot. And if it's out of 50 billion, we're looking at close to $35 billion worth of real estate were from investors buying single family homes. That's absolutely incredible to look at. You can see the breakdown here of condos, of townhomes, and multifamilies. Multifamilies, which is what I would love to get more into, has some of the lowest numbers at 5.3% yearly, 3.8%. Down from 4.7%. And that's simply just because not as many people are selling their multifamily homes right now. So the question is, why are these investors buying up more single family homes? It has increased, but not by much when you look at this trend. Well, since the pandemic, there has been an increase simply because of the need of single family homes. People want to get out of their rental or their apartment and they want an office space. They want more space. So they go to single family homes, and instead of buying something and being responsible for it, they end up renting it instead. Now, this conversation of should you rent and should you buy, put in the comments below if you'd like me to do a video on the cost difference analysis of should you rent or should you buy. I would like to hear that. I've been thinking about doing a video like that and would like to know your feedback on that. Now, single-family homes surged in popularity at the beginning of the pandemic, with many home buyers searching for space for remote work, online schooling. Investors are likely buying up single-family homes because they still make attractive rentals for those reasons. Now, it breaks down the different areas that are seeing an increase in investor purchases over the past quarter, and it shows some of those here. I'm in Omaha, Nebraska. We're not in that, but we are seeing and feeling the investor purchases as we talk about. Now, I want to touch on how do we respond as buyers in this? How do you handle this if you're out there looking and you're potentially competing against an investor with a cash offer? Now, I want to lay a foundation. If investors are jumping in because rental prices are increasing and they want to get the appreciation that comes with owning real estate, here's the reality. If they're jumping in because they know rent prices are going to go up. So when it comes to the buy purchase conversation, it more likely is still very affordable to purchase a home than it is to rent, especially if rent's going to be going up as well. Now, there's several other factors that you really need to consider, but the big thing that you really need to understand is if you can't afford the down payment, well then home purchasing is not an option for you to look at moving forward. The other thing to note when you are looking at buying and competing against these is that most sellers really don't want to sell to an investor. If they had the option, if two offers are the exact same, they're going to pick the homeowner. I just had it happen to me last week. I had a single gal, who was going to get a conventional loan, but ended up getting her dad to use some cash to be able to purchase. And we went up against 2 other investors, 2 cash offers, and they chose ours because they didn't want to sell to an investor. Now, obviously, that's one case out of millions that could be out there, but the point is still the same. Most homeowners don't want their neighborhood or their neighborhood they're leaving to turn into a rental neighborhood because it devalues the area overall. So if you can match the other people's offer as best as you can by doing escalation clauses, by removing the appraisal contingencies, by not doing home inspections, as long as you're as close as you can be to that investor offer, you're going to have the best chance of success. And write a letter because homeowners really do want to give it to you. But at the end of the day, money's going to win. Money's going to talk the loudest, and they're going to pick the highest offer. The last thing I'll note on this is that when you're working with your realtor, ask your realtor to reach out to the listing agent or to the seller and find out if they have any cash offers. If they do, and you're not in a position to be able to compete, well, save yourself time and energy by not pursuing an offer or an offer on a house that already has a cash offer on it. Just start asking that question, is there other offers in there that are cash offer, or is there not any cash offers? And if there isn't, that might be one you really want to focus on and put everything on the table to try to get that one. Hey, thanks for watching, guys. If you like videos like this, please consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel down below this video. In addition to that, guys, check out this video right here where I made just for you guys. Thanks for watching. I love you all, and we'll see you guys in the next video.